I know, right? No, you're good. Not the first person that said that.
Is this a different week for you? I mean, you basically appear to be kind of a starter this time. I mean, you sort of know that going into the week. Is this sort of a big week for you that way?
I mean, they talked to me a little bit about it, but I try not to treat it any differently. I talked to my family about it, and they told me just go out there and play. Just do what you've been doing. Don't make it any bigger than it is. And for me, I just kind of went back to the basics. I went back to my faith. The reason why I started playing this game in the first place. I actually talked to one of my friends, Eric, and he just kind of told me how I inspired him and stuff like that in many ways. And so I just went back to why I played this game, had so many people looking up to me and stuff like that. And so I just wanted to be able to cloud everything else away and just to be able to play free.
Tyler, why do you think now was the time they thought to kind of get you even more involved than you've been?
That, I don't know. Obviously, you just have to go out there and make the best out of the opportunities that's given. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been trying to make the best out of what's been given to me, whether it's on special teams or whether it's on offense. And today they gave me a lot more opportunities, and I'm thankful for that. And I just went and did whatever I could with it. But at the same time, we have so many great players on offense to where they can do better than what I did today. You have Doug. Doug's been doing phenomenal. You have Jimmy, who's been doing phenomenal. You have T. Rawls, who can go for 200 at any day. I mean, you have so many people on this team that could be able to do what I did today. Today I just had the opportunity to be able to showcase my abilities, but who knows? Next game it might be Doug. Next game it might be Jermaine. Next game it could be Paul. You never know. And so you just have to be able to enjoy this moment with your team. And at the end of the day, it's not about the stats. It's not about any of that. It's about being able to win this game and play for your brothers. We achieved something great today, which was the NFC West. And so we're good for going to the playoffs, but we know that it's only the beginning. We could put ourselves in a great position to be able to get a bye week. And so, like I said, it's not about stats. It's not about anything like that. It's just about playing for your brothers.
Knowing Russell Wilson like you do, how much were you guys just expecting him to bounce back and play like he did?
Oh, I mean, Russell's a phenomenal dude, a great quarterback at that. He does a tremendous job mentally. He mentally prepares himself, especially in the offseason. And I was around him in the offseason to be able to see that. He trains himself that if he throws an interception, it's as if it didn't even happen. It's as if it happened 3 years ago. And he does a great job continuing to lead us, continuing to talk to us, to motivate us, to get ourselves right for the next drive. Regardless of how drives go, he makes sure that we get right. Even if we're losing by 20, he's still talking to us, telling us there's a way to come back. And that's exactly what you want in a leader. You want somebody that's going to go out there and that's going to lead us through this battle, through this war that we go through. And I think that he's done a fantastic job, and I think that we're starting to buy into the system. We're doing a lot of great things right now, and we're going to continue doing it.
How did you get as open as you did on that, the long touchdown?
Well, I think they were in cover two. I could be wrong, but I think they were in cover two. So Tremaine had flats, and the safety had the deep part where I was going to. But I think Jermaine was running across the middle, and so he kind of held that safety up, and it allowed me to kind of get past Tremaine and to be able to stack him a little bit and score.
Tyler, how different has this season been for you, battling through the injuries and now going down the stretch? It looks like you're having your biggest role yet.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it was difficult. Obviously, nobody plans on getting hurt throughout their whole entire season. But like I said 2 weeks ago, it could have been worse. There's a lot of people out here that's out for the end of the season and stuff like that. And for me, I was able to play through my injuries. But at the same time, it was frustrating. But I had to lean on my faith. I had to continue to embrace this opportunity that I do have. And like I said, I still see kids, inspired by me. I still see kids wearing my jerseys. I still see kids wanting to talk to me and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I just had to start to see the bigger picture. I couldn't run away from this platform that God had given me. I had to be able to embrace it and to be able to enjoy this moment with my teammates, my brothers, because who knows when this game is going to end for me. And so when I think about everything that's happened, I talked to my family, and they just said, make these games the best that you can. Obviously you wish things could have been different, but hey, you can still write your story. You can write how this chapter ends, and though it started slow, that doesn't mean it has to end the same way. You can make it in whatever you want it to be. And that's one thing that I really want to do is go out here and just make the best out of every game. I might not make 130 yards again next week, but I'm okay with that. I just want to win and play with my teammates and do whatever it takes to be able to win the Super Bowl.
You talked about how Doug helped you through that, and I know his second season was kind of similar. What did he say to you to help you through that?
Just telling me to keep fighting. Obviously you have no control over injuries and stuff like that, and he said that his was kind of like that his second year. And, you know, that's something that I just didn't want to accept, is that my season was going to be full of injuries. Obviously, that's the first way to get out of the NFL is through injuries. And I never really had as many injuries this year as I had in my whole career. And so it was obviously frustrating. But for me, like I said, I had to continue to fight. I trusted the trainers. They did a great job preparing me, allowing me to be able to come back out here, to be able to help my teammates. And like I said, I took advantage of the opportunities that I was given to be able to try to put us in great field position in the kickoff return and punt return game. And I mean, I basically just tried to do whatever I could. And obviously things are getting a lot better. You know, I had to wear a brace. Nobody wants to be able to wear a brace. But like I said, you got to go through the process. Sometimes you're going to be able to see the sun at the end of the tunnel, but sometimes going through the tunnel is frustrating. And so for me, having to wear a brace and stuff like that, something I didn't want to do, but I had to do it, and it was going to help me out in the long run.
Speaking of Doug, how good was the release on that touchdown?
Oh, I mean, it was great from my point of view. I didn't see anybody near him. And so I asked him, I need to watch film so I could see what exactly he did so I could try to use that move. But, I mean, you know, Doug's a phenomenal receiver. He's a great person. I learned a lot from him, and I'm continuing to learn a lot from him. I think that he's a great dude. You know, I had the chance to be able to hang out with him. You know, of course, he's my teammate, so I get to hang out with him. And just the way that he conducts himself, the type of mindset and mentality that he has, I mean, it's something that you can always take away and try to be able to be like that in some type of way. Obviously, you can't be exactly who he is, but you can be able to take some traits away that he has that could be able to better you, and you could be able to use that and utilize it in your life.
What's behind basketball celebrations there?
I don't know. I just kind of like basketball. You know, basketball was like my second favorite sport, you know, next to football. And so I didn't make it in basketball, which I'm okay with. But obviously, whenever we're in practice and we're not in, you know, I think about celebrations and stuff like that. And everybody does the juju on the beat, and they do so many things. And I just kind of want to go back to basketball. You know, obviously, people don't think I can dunk, but I'll shock you. But, hey, you know, nobody says that you have to be able to dunk to do a celebration. All right, thank you.